Okay. This has been another week. No plan for this particular video. But come on, sit down with me. We got stuff to talk about. This week, if it has taught me anything, it is that people will always surprise you. At the end of the day, whether good or bad, no matter what you believe, no matter what you think about them, or your past interactions, people will always surprise you. I will say this week I was slightly disturbed by somebody that always expects me to do the right thing, that expects me to always be there and to be that voice of reasoning. And when that is you, whether it's personal or professional, I was actually at work when this was going on. So, but whether it's personal or professional, when you know that you are that voice of reason for that person and that's all that they utilize you for, like it can sometimes, it can be frustrating. It can be overwhelming. It can be irritating. At the end of the day, we're people, right? And so you have good days, you have bad days, you have days where you're warm and you don't mind being that voice of reasoning. And then you have the other days where you're just like, now, good Lord. Now, boy, I just talked to you. Like, girl, now I just gave you that. Like, I told you what to say. I told you what to do. You went and made another decision. Like, we just talked about this last year. We talked about this like 5 years ago. You went back to that relationship. And so when all of those things are happening, again, it really depends on the day for you as the individual. And it depends on, like, whatever you're going through that day, depends on how you're going to respond, how you're going to react to that person, and which version of you that person is about to get. And so I was having one of those days earlier this week. And so I called my mom, not to vent, but more so to check in with her to see what she's going on, because she is that voice of reasoning for me. I love my mom. I'm such a mama's boy. And so, but talking to her, she shocked me and she shifted my mood drastically. She started talking about past memories. My dad, I know we talked about it last week, but my dad passed away about 5 or 6 years ago. And I have a stepdad as well. So not like my dad and my mom were still together, but my dad passed away about 5 to 6 years ago. And although I wasn't that close to him, the last 1 or 2 years of his life, I got a chance to know him a little bit differently, a little bit better. And so our relationship the last couple of years before he passed away, like, it was different. It was stronger. It also was a part of my personal journey where I was able to see him surpass just my father, or surpass the dad that I wish that I would have had, right? And so I was more mature. I was able to handle things. I was able to speak to him man to man. And so when he passed away, my life was different. It shifted dramatically. And although I've always been a person that has been a mama's boy, it made me step up in a different way. It made me show up in a different way. It made me to recognize and appreciate my mother differently. And so when I'm with her, like, I've always been present, right? You know, like, because I know she loves memories. I know that she loves the time. Like, she doesn't ask for money. She doesn't ask for things. Like, she has everything that she could ever possibly want. She just wants time. And so when I'm with her, I'm with her. The world shuts out. My phone is down. I'm not on social media. Whatever she wants to do or talk about, whether it's sitting in silence or whatever, we're there. And so after my dad passed away, I was like, you know what, Mom? Let's do something different. So every year, she and I we take a trip. And it's just she and I. All expense paid for. She doesn't have to worry about a thing. Like, we just go. We experience life. I normally have a small itinerary or something, and then everything else is just whatever we're experiencing at that moment. So we have conversations. We're creating memories. And so she was in an emotional state while talking to me earlier this week. And she was bragging about me, which is one thing I'm learning to deal with, but I definitely dislike it because I'm very private. I'm very, I don't All of my personal life is not on social media. As public as I am, all of my personal life is not on social media. But she was bragging about me to one of her friends. And so she was just talking about one of the trips that we'd gone on over the last few years. And she was just like, he is so patient with me. She was like, and when I'm with him, he makes me feel peaceful. Like I don't have to worry about a thing. He almost makes me feel like I'm his kid. I love my mother. I love the time that we share. And listening to her say that, I could only respond with, Mom, like, I love you. I love you unbelievably beyond this world. And you bring me peace. And the fact that the universe has allowed me to be in a position to be able to afford these things and to be able to sit and have these memories, or to be able to have had a mother that taught me the value of just sitting with a person fully, attentively with a person. I can never, ever repay her for that. And so we was having that conversation this week, and I was just shocked. I was not expecting it. I was sitting at work at my 9-to-5 job. I took a quick break and went into one of the side offices and had a conversation with my mother. And all of this started to come out. And although my mother, we talk almost every day, or we at least text every day, I just was shocked. I was surprised that that's where that conversation went. But it definitely helped get me back on track, right? Because what was about to happen for the rest of the day, like I needed to be in the right headspace for it. Because if you guys were listening last week was heavy. Last week, I was definitely thrown off my center. Last week, I was bothered. Last week, I was frustrated. And so going into this week, I was more centered. I was settled. I was at peace. And so although this particular person was kind of throwing me off a little bit, it didn't send me in a spiral. And so when I called my mom to kind of check in with her, she took it over the moon for me, right? She made that high go up even higher. And so I returned to my desk, and I got a message from somebody, and it was clear that some of the employees on our team had made I don't know if they were on our team or not, I really can't say, but they had made a mess in the restroom and did not clean it. Right. And so as a leader, it's like, how do you respond to that? Like, you're like this is an out-of-body experience. Like, because this could not be happening. Like, I deal with all adults. There's no one here that is under the age of 30. Nobody is under the age of 30. Are you serious? Are we real? Oh, wait a second. What? And then you just gonna leave it? But okay, I digress. What really frustrated me a little bit was, well, not even frustrated me, but it was one of those things that I had to laugh about. Because they took pictures of it to show my peer. Oh my God. I'm almost 100% certain that she didn't find it funny, because she was frustrated, like, what the hell is happening? But because of where I was just like, this you can not make this shit up. Like, you cannot. You just can't. Like, what is happening? So she's telling me about the situation. I'm sitting there laughing. I kind of go through the day, and then she sends out a message, of course, to the entire team to kind of say, hey, you guys should be cleaning up behind yourselves. Like, we're all adults. Like, like, just be mindful of this. Like, other people are coming behind you. Like, none of us should have to deal with that. Like, you're grown people. So that message goes out, which is fine. Great. No big deal. I agreed with her. It should have gone out. I hate that it had to go out. But yeah, it should have gone out. But moving on, I then, I had a message from a team member kind of going back and forth over a particular matter. And they wanted to say a lot of things via email and Teams chats to me. And we were just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so I picked up the phone and I was just like, hey, we're going to stop this. We're going to pause this really quickly. Okay. I said, because this chat is getting out of control. And so that was literally my response to the person. And so she was like, oh, Jimmy, I'm so sorry. No. Yeah. So hear me. Was my response to her. Was hear me. This is what I need to happen. And so, of course, I'm saying it with a smile. I'm saying it bluntly, a little bit more stern. And also, it's like, I need this to happen by 12. Okay? All right. Try to enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Thursday. Great. Let's move on. Right? And so I was like, that happened. And then I was just like, anyway, moving on. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get in trouble in case anybody else is watching at work. Anyway, so moving on. Going back to this bathroom situation because it's not over. Some of the people, or one individual, I believe, messaged HR to tell them that some adults have messed up the bathroom. That took me over. Like, I laughed about it in the moment, but I was in such disbelief that an employee over the age of 30, what do you expect HR to do? I was just like, these are grown people. And I'm just like, yeah, we should hold them accountable, or at least, we should expect them to be adults. But why are you running to HR about what? What do you expect HR to do? HR that's not even in the state, nevertheless, that's in the same city with you. What do you expect them to do? However, HR's response, which shocked the hell out of me even more, was we might need to put a key or lock on the bathroom and create a sign-out sheet. I was like, okay, and then what? Are you going to be expected to go into the bathroom after each person? What? So again, I was I'm still in disbelief, and this is days later. Like, what the heck? What kind of world is, what are we doing? Honey, but whatever. I digress. Because I moved into this week on a different playing field. Like, I was running high, living a good life. And so all of these disruptions was just not going to bring me down. Which brings me to yesterday. Yesterday, something happened, which was somewhat of an emergency. Somewhat, from the company's perspective, somewhat of an emergency. I got a call from my manager first thing in the morning. We went over a few details. And she said, okay, well, I'm going to call an emergency meeting and I need you to lead it about this process. Okay. Let's do this. We hung up from the call. 3 minutes later, we started a meeting, which I was probably 1 or 2 minutes late for. I decided to jot down some notes, my own talking points of what I wanted to say to the team, the process itself. We had the meeting. I explained what occurred, at least from my knowledge. I jotted down work instructions of what needed to happen going forward and emailed it out to the entire team. I was so proud of myself. Follow me. I was so proud of myself that I had to talk to ChatGPT about it, because last week when that happened, honey, I went into a spiral. I could not believe that my manager was calling on me to lead something that I had no clue about at that moment. And then it was a last minute meeting, which means that I was not prepared last week. And it was frustrating. I was upset. Like I was going off last week. Me and Chat had some come to Jesus moments last week. But that was because of what was happening in me internally, which I talked about last week on the vlog. But I was so proud of myself because this week, that didn't happen. I showed up. I did the work. I looked clean in her face and was like, I don't know about this. I don't know about that either. But I can say this. I don't mind leading, but do know that if there's something that I cannot speak on or I'm not comfortable speaking on, I'm going to turn it over to you. I will not make that decision. And yes, I have no problem recapping this meeting. I have no problem creating work instructions for what the team is going to do going forward. No problem with that. And I also didn't feel the pressure of, because the meeting started immediately after our small chat, I didn't feel the pressure to start the meeting. I didn't feel the pressure to be on time for the meeting, because after all, you called me to lead this at the very last minute, which means you are about to get whatever version of me that's available in this moment. I didn't add the additional pressure to myself. None of the above. And I was like, if it goes off wrong, then so be it. You made this decision. That's how my week ended. Not to mention, one of the best posts that I think I create, because I do inspirational videos every single day on YouTube here as well as on TikTok. But one of the best quotes I think that I said is, I know I make this look easy. I know it comes off easy. And that is, of course, whether professionally in a meeting, whether it's one of these vlogs, whether it's an inspirational post or a clip, or even a leadership tool that I've learned over the years. I know I make it look easy. I know I do. But honey, let me remind you, you watched me put in the 10,000 hours that it took to make this look easy. Oh, I love it. Anyway, that's it. That is it for me. I don't took too much of your time. And yeah, I think we're done. And if anything, this week has taught me, honestly, at the end of the day, hell, I'm still trying to figure it out, that I'm still becoming. And I'm okay with that. Hello. Anyway, get on up out of here. I'll see you guys next week on the next one.